My family's been here on this ranch since 1937. I would give anything if my great-granddad could take a look at what's happening now.
I was raised in this little town where the valley brings the water on down. Tame these hills with my old man. Planted these rows with my bare hands. Making our way in this promised land.
Each of my sons are a different person, and each of them have to find their own way and their own niche. Now, they would tell you that I ruled with a strong hand when they were kids. At least I thought I did. They'd tell me it wasn't as strong as I thought I was.
You know, when I was younger growing up, I thought everybody was a hop grower, you know. Until about 6 or 7, I understood that, hey, this is kind of a unique way of life. Early in the morning, he'd come into the room and say, roll out of bed, and that's all it took. And with his booming voice, and we all rolled out of bed and headed off to work. What he did is he instilled in us a healthy respect of work and how it was important to work, to get it done and get it done properly. And we learned that from our dad and his dad, our grandfather.
If you're around my father very long, the best way to get him to try something or do something is to tell him he can't. And I like to think Charles Carpenter had that same spirit. His journey kind of parallels kind of the family's journey here in latter times. You're not going to be able to grow hops in the Yakima Valley. Watch me. Charles Carpenter, my great-great-grandfather, he was just looking for a better opportunity. He came through the Yakima Valley going up. He thought, you know, this might be a pretty good place to grow hops.
It was not easy. It was hard work, especially for Charles. I mean, starting something that wasn't being grown here. I mean, as a hop grower, even today, if you're going to be a hop grower, you have to have the facilities to do it. He designed and built the facilities that he used.
The first hops I picked by hand up at the hop yard in Yakima when I was just a little kid. Along the way, we had some tough times. And one thing I readily learned was that hop farmers worked their butts off and didn't get paid for what they did. What we were up against was a traditional system that was not working for hop growers. Sometime along the line, this had to change. We went down to this 4-state meeting in Idaho. I knew that one of the major dealers was going to stand up and talk about how sacred our hop contracts were, and we better be careful. We were going to mucky it all up. Well, we're going broke anyway. I didn't see where we were going to hurt anything. So he sat down, and I stood up. I remember turning around, and I says, well, the king has spoke. The chairman of the committee come in, and he looked at me, and he says, all right, Carpenter, we're going to let you guys go to the breweries, but there'll be a dealer with you to each place you go to. We did go to these trips. I was one of the people that went. I'll tell you about one meeting. The hop buyer that was going to talk to us, he had a stack of contracts on each side of him. He says, I understand you boys are back here wanting an adjustment on these contracts. Then he looked right at the dealer and he says, what I'm hearing is you guys are paying these guys 55 to 65 cents a pound, and there's not a one there less than $1.50. I sat there and grinned from ear to ear. I heard all I needed to hear. The meeting was adjourned. The dealer turned around and went out of there with a tail between his legs. I can't tell you how thankful I am today that we got a system that has some fairness in it for hop growers.
Most hop growers are very independent, and we're very independent and proud of what we're doing, our innovations, and just the way we do things.
I remember saying to Craig, why would anybody farm? Why would you? Because you weren't making that much money at it, and it was a lot of work. All that pride, 150 years, I mean, your grandparents, your dad, you've watched it all. Now I understand that.
At times it's a lot of pressure on you as the wife and the mother during harvest time, especially. Basically, you're a single parent during that time. It's just what we're used to, so.
It's the legacy. It's something that our forefathers have done. You know, we've all seen our dad put in crazy amount of hours just out here, and so that's kind of the life that we wanted for our family.
I just want to do what my dad and my uncles were doing. And, you know, my grandpa, if you're into working, he's going to teach you everything there is to know about it.
He does as much as he possibly can out here to make sure that we're set, you know, family-wise. He's on us daily, all the time, to make sure that, you know, we get things done. And if we don't get it done, then he's definitely going to be there Monday.
That family thing has been huge throughout the generations, and it continues to be.
Last year I was working drying hops. There had to be about 500 people come in the 40-day harvest. It's cool to see how much interest they have in what you're doing. You don't really realize what you're a part of and how big it is and how far it stretches across the world.
Well, I think my first summer job was organizing Pop's office. You know, so I had to go through all of his files and file them away and label everything nice and neat, and kind of got my first taste of everything then.
You want fresh hops? You got to get in with Jessica. I talk to all the brewers and people like that. They need fresh hops, they need to know what's going on. They get a hold of me.
I do the accounts payable and the payroll. Like when people come here, they can tell that we work together and we've been around each other a long time. We all grew up the same way. We all grew up on the farm, you know, and our kids are all growing up on the farm. So we're trying to kind of continue that so that way they can have the kind of relationship that we do.
Eric and I, we're kind of partners. We do all the accounts payable, we do payroll on Mondays. Anything that comes in through the door, we get answers for people. Anyone on the phone, we get answers for people. And I also translate for any employee that comes in. I speak Spanish.
Yeah, if you want the place to run, you gotta have the girls.
And it's exciting to see the things that are coming and to have our kids be a part of it.
I'm pretty proud that we were able to pull family together and keep them together to make this thing work.
You know, we've been at this on the Yakima Chief side for more than 30 years, and we were lucky to have a group of really courageous owners together that wasn't going to let this thing in. But every once in a while, it just helps to look back and know where you've come from.
We got the change started, and then it gradually built until what you're seeing now is the Yakima Chief success.
We never set out to be the largest hop company in North America. That wasn't even on the radar of anyone's wildest dreams. We just wanted to do it right and help our brewer customers make great beer.
This has been like the greatest place, though, to raise our kids and our family. Wouldn't have wanted it any other way. Being able to raise them out here and having them have the freedom of all this land and helping in the summers working, and it's just been awesome.
They're doing fine. They really are. But yeah, I'm proud of it. Here again, though, I got to go back and they'd tell you that if you ask my 5 sons where their values came from, they look right at their mom, just like that. And they'd give her credit where credit's due. They got a few of my traits, but their mom's been awful special to our success.
You know, me and my cousins, what we always say, we're not growing hops for ourselves. We do it to show respect to the people who were before us and to have the ability to pass that on to our kids and give them the same opportunity.
I've done my job. They got a bigger job now to do, and it's to keep it rolling and stay humble and recognize that we're a bunch of peasants that's had a little bit of success. And don't get a big head. Just stay the course.
Thank you.
You done with me?
Unless you have
That's the best news I've heard in a long time.